Hey guys, so right now I'm in the Michaels parking lot and I'm hoping to do some floss drop cards. I currently have my floss on bobbins, but after getting some hand-dyed floss, I really do like them already being pre-cut and ready to work with. It's much easier. So I was thinking of trying to make my own depending on, well, I'm going to make my own no matter what, but I would like to have the cards be like cutesy, whether they have bees or flowers or something. So I came here to come and look at cardstock, and some different hole punches if they have them. We'll see. I have stuff at home that I could make it work with, just not ideal. But we'll see how it goes. Hopefully we find some cute cardstock though. That is not too expensive. But let's go inside. All right, we are back from Michael's, and the whole point of what I was trying to do was I currently have all of my DMC floss on bobbins like this. There you go. And although it works really well, I just have so many that it's making storage hard for them. And also, I like to take my floss with me when I'm on the go. And since I don't really know what colors I'm going to be using, it's kind of hard to choose in advance versus like a lot of people I know do cross stitch where, you know, you already pre-know, like if of course, if they're making their own pattern, then they might not know. But if they're buying a kit, like they already know all the colors. They just take what they need and that works. But for me, I have like 400 plus colors and I don't know what I want. Like, especially if you saw last week's vlog, you see me work on the butterfly that I haven't even finished it, and I already have used all of these colors and then different oranges, and I'm still not done. So I kind of want to switch over to using, what are these called? Oh my goodness, so much is going off. So I kind of want to switch over to what's called like floss, what are they called? I can't think of it now. They're not chips, they're like, dang it. So floss keepers, floss tags, or floss drops. Those are kind of what they're called, where they hang down. And it's nice because I can just pull a piece of thread out and not have to worry about anything else. And especially since I normally only use a single strand of floss, it's a lot neater just grabbing one out versus what I have to do when they're on a bobbin, where I have to wrap it the opposite direction, and then it just kind of makes a mess everywhere in my boxes. And the other thing with my current storage system, although I like them like this, and I thought this would work really well, the only downside is, well, actually I'm gonna keep the lid on. The downside is you can kind of see this isn't high enough to just keep them snug. So sometimes the bobbin will fall underneath and then I'll be looking for a color and I don't realize it's hidden underneath until I flip it over and look. So not ideal. And I thought it would be pretty cool if I could do different rings. So like you can see all these are a darker green versus these are more of a yellow neutral, like, well, yellow or brown green. So putting them on different rings would be kind of nice. I also plan on putting a pegboard up so they could just hook on the pegboard. They'd also be easier to take on the go versus right now, like those don't, I have like a mini suitcase that I use if I take my embroidery elsewhere, and those don't really fit properly versus if I was just putting them on binder rings and keeping them on cards, that would work. So that's essentially a long way of me saying I'm going to try to make my own cards. This was just a sample one that I was testing to see how large I want it. I feel like this would be a decent size. And I don't know if I'm going to keep this shape. I'm debating. I kind of want to try a different shape. So I'm going to give it I'm going to test a few shapes and see which one I like. But we had to go to Michael's because I wanted to try to find cardstock, and I was there and I didn't find anything that I liked. And I was kind of using this as like a reference. I found these on Etsy, but I wanted to do bees instead or something like that. But I like just the simple white background with some type of accent on it. But I didn't find anything. And then looking around, I found thicker cardstock, and I was like, you know what, I can always draw on it, or I can print on it if it's not too thick. But then these are going to be thrown around a lot. Not thrown around, but like I want the paper to be really sturdy. So I started looking, and the cardstock they had, like, I couldn't find any in white that was more than a 65-pound cardstock. Unless it was in like some crazy color, which I didn't want. So I was looking around, and then I did find a cardstock that I believe was 90, like hidden, but it was like 20 bucks. Like it was like a 90-pound for 20 bucks. So I just kept walking around, and I was like, all right, I'll either have to buy that, I have a coupon, not a huge deal, or like, I don't know, I'll figure out something. But then I was walking past, and I realized that oh, and the other cardstock that I liked was a linen texture. It looked really pretty. But then I was walking, and they had this little center section of watercolor paper that is 140 pounds, so definitely going to be stronger and hold up better. And I was like, it was cheaper, like significantly. I don't have the receipt in front of me, but it was cheaper for me to buy this thicker paper than the cardstock. Like I'm pretty sure I could probably have bought two. I think they were 10 bucks. I could be wrong, but like I would much rather have this thicker paper that's also a pretty texture. So I decided to get watercolor paper. I don't know if I'm going to do any watercolor on it. My idea, because while I was walking past, I found all these really cute stamps. So I ended up buying these stamps, and there's two different bees. So I have an idea for these, where I was thinking, since everything I do is very teal and white, those are like my color scheme. So I bought these two different ink pads, and I'm just gonna randomly place the flowers and butterflies and all that. But then I bought a really tiny one of black ink, and this way, once they're done, cut out, hole punch and everything, I'll go back and just center a little bee on there. At least that's my thought process. So that's what I bought for that. And then the last two things I bought was I needed a normal hole punch. The hole punch that I have is like really cheap. I think it's like from the dollar store or Walmart, and it was killing my hand. So I picked this guy up. I may or may not use it. But I know I like that brand because I have their smaller one for my earrings. It has like the smaller little hole in there, and I love that one. And then I also picked up a different round hole punch that is 5/8 of an inch, and this way the floss can dangle through this. So now I'm just trying to decide what shape I want to do for them, because what I did last time for the sample one, the only hole punch that I had was like this giant one, and this is way too big. I don't want to use something this big. And when I was at Michael's, they didn't have anything else that was smaller. Like I wanted something bigger than this, but preferably like an oval shape, versus they just had the circles, and they were massive. They were even bigger than this was. So I might have to hand cut them, which kind of stinks, but we will figure it out. We have a neighborhood night out, and there's a pig, and food trucks. So many food trucks. And there's a dunk tank over that way. I don't know if you can really see it, but there's a dunk tank. Pretty cool. Look at his tail. Oh my god. I can't. It's so cute. So we found out the pig's name was Grace. She actually belonged to the owners of the ice cream food truck, and she was the cutest thing ever. They were feeding her Cheerios to keep her nearby. We have crabs, ice cream, and a helicopter. Don't worry, the pig's still here. He's still enjoying his life. Living the best life as a pig. Guys, there's a frog. I found a frog. Goodbye, frog. Goodbye. Oh, bye. Oh, jeez. All right, so today is Wednesday, and after we left the neighborhood night out yesterday, I came home because it was still pretty early. I was honestly surprised. It was like 7:40 or so, and I was a little upset. I don't want to say upset, but I was a little like, because I didn't get to stream before the event. I just ran out of time after running to Michael's and everything. There just wasn't enough time between me coming home to us going for me to confidently stream. Like, I didn't want it just to be like a half hour. So I didn't end up streaming, but when we came back, it was still early enough that I was able to stream, and I just kind of had a chill stream for my first stream back since we finally fixed our internet issue. So 2 weeks later, we finally have solved the issue. So that's awesome. And what I ended up doing is I decided to switch my floss. I haven't done it yet. It's going to take a while. But I'm going to switch from bobbins to floss tags. And I've seen plenty online that I was interested in buying, and I thought about it, but since I don't know how much I'm really gonna love it, I was like, you know, it's just cheaper for me to buy some paper. I'm a little nervous though, because once I put them on here and I cut them, there's no going back to bobbins. They're already done, so I'm committing to this. And it's very nerve-wracking because I have so much floss, but every time I find someone who's like a YouTuber who like has a floss tube channel or anything like that, everyone always loves them this way, and I get it now. Like, now I understand the luxury of just being able to pull out the thread and call it a day. So on stream, I ended up making some cards. So I have a finished one. I smudged it, so the B is smudged. But what I did was I got the watercolor paper, the stamps. The other ink didn't work very well. It was very runny, and it just wasn't worth it. So I did just one blue. And then I'm going to add the bumblebee at the end. But I like it because I can add all the details for the color on the back. So if I need to reorder a shade, I have it. So I stamped a whole large piece, and then I cut them up into little squares. And then because I just had to be complicated, I have like a template that I made because I really like this shape. So now it is this, and have to hole punch and all that jazz. So I still got a lot left to do on that. So I only have this much made of them. I still have a giant stack next to me. So I still have to cut all these into the shape that I need it to be and to hole punch them all. So that's what I think I'm going to start my day with today. I'm probably not going to spend the whole day doing this. This is more of a luxury task that I would like to store my floss differently. I think it would be nice to kind of hang it on the wall in front of me. So I think it's time to get them out of the containers that they're currently in. I'm nervous, but I think it's going to be worth it. So hopefully. But I also have to spend some time on other tasks for market prep, since I do have something Friday. I pretty much still have a good amount of inventory from the last market that I have, so I'm not super concerned. There's just one hair clip design that I only made one of last time that sold very quick, so I didn't really get to see how people reacted to it very much. So I'm going to make it again. I'm going to make a few this time and see if it's a style people like. But it's a little hard because I don't know if we're going to really have like hair clip people traffic. Normally that's a lot for like parents with younger kids, and I'm not too sure how this one's going to be. I know my first ever market was in a school, so they sold so quickly. Like, people had their kids, they had their kids like pick them out, anything like that. So that worked really well the last time. Again, I don't know how they're gonna sell, so I don't want to overwhelm myself and make any more since I still do have a good amount. But that's pretty much where we're at. I'm like in this limbo where it's like, how much more should I really make? Do I want to just wait? Not too sure. So for right now, till I decide, I'm just gonna work on some of these to get my brain relaxed and start my day, because it's still really early in the morning. So let's get to making some more of these. So after cutting tons and tons of them, I realized they're not lining up, and I remember why, because I made a template. So I would cut the top hole first and kind of use it as a guideline for the bottom hole, since this has a little like marking, so I can actually like line it up a lot easier. And I forgot about that, so all these are kind of not super even, but it really doesn't matter. It's just me being a little overly perfectionist with it. So for the rest of them, I'm going to attempt to start with the other hole punch, but like this way I have that hole, and now I can go back and kind of line this up, and in hopes then they will match a lot better compared to some of the other ones that don't. But oh well, not a huge deal. Now we know. Oh, and if anyone's wondering, I got this hole punch from Michaels. It's like a solid, I don't know how to get a good angle on camera, I'm trying to see. It's like a solid piece of metal in the inside, and it's very comfortable on your hand compared to the standard hole punch. These aren't even super expensive. I think it was $7, and honestly, you know, some other hole punch like at Walmart I think are $3 or $4. It's worth just paying that little extra. It's so much more comfortable in your hand versus my other one hurts right here on my hand, but this is very nice. And next I just have to add a little tiny hole. This way if I have like an extra piece of thread, I can string it from this part, like any remaining from my last project, and I'll remember to grab from that before I grab from the main. So I have another hole punch. Earlier I was using the larger one, but now I have this little guy. And it's kind of going to be more of an eyeballing. Like this one I don't really care about if it's exactly like lined up. I mean, none of them are perfect, but we're just going to make it close enough. Ironically, that actually lines up perfectly with the template one. So that's pretty funny. Unplanned, but yeah. So that's what I'm going to do now. All right, so I was scrolling online and I found someone who was giving like stickers away for free at their markets, and like they had like this cute sign. If I can find the video again, I will. I'm trying to remember if it was on TikTok or Instagram, but they were, every time someone like followed them on social media or something, they gave them a sticker. Like they had a sign at their booth, and I thought that'd be super cool. Because I've been wanting to see if people would even be interested in my style sticker. I don't have enough time to order any, so I'm gonna see if I can make it work with the sticker paper I have. I don't know how it'll look. So this might be completely awful and I might not be able to do it for this market. But my idea is I'm going to scan in my little mushroom and I might move things around and then make this a sticker. I think that would look really cute. So we will see. I'm debating like maybe moving this up higher in editing. But for right now, I'm scanning that, and I'm also scanning a different embroidery I have because this flower is actually based off of a flower that Eddie got me, and I forgot to scan it prior, and since no one has bought it yet, now is the time. So I use the Epson Perfection V39. It was like highly recommended for people who use it for artwork. So that is what I do. That's how I actually scanned in my prints for the other embroideries that I did. So let's scan. Lug the giant printer. Okay, so I'm just gonna do one test sheet first and see how I like it, because it has some like scuffs on it, so these are gonna be trash anyway. I can't really do anything with this page, so might as well test it and see if I like how it looks. Because I haven't used this printer in a little while, so I don't know how much good ink it has. Oh, so you pop up behind. Nice. Alright. False alarm. It was back there the whole time. Please don't jam. It's not that thick of paper. You've done it on this paper before. Turn on. These look too dark. This isn't gonna work. I mean, these don't look good. They look so much better on camera than they do in person. But these are pretty dark. Dang it. Alright, well, back to the drawing board. Alright, so the stickers did not work. They went from being really, on camera it looks much better. In person they're very dull and blech. So this is my first attempt, didn't work. Then I tried it without System Dialogue and they lightened up and looked a lot better, almost there, but they have lines going through them. So then I tried one more time with System Dialogue, trying to mess with more settings, and it just looks like the first one. So I've given up. I'm calling it a night because I am just here with the frustration of trying to get this to work and it not working. But I'm still in a crafty mood, but not in a work-related crafty mood at this point. So what I think I'm gonna do is I have a skirt that I wear very often that I adore. You guys may or may not have seen it on video. But I'm gonna try to like duplicate the skirt. I have this other really pretty fabric that I was thinking of making this other one-piece thing out of it. And I just don't have the confidence to sew that pattern yet. But I do have the confidence to sew a skirt. So I think I'm going to try to turn this into a skirt. So we'll see how that goes. I'm at least just gonna work on the pattern today, like drafting it and duplicating it. But I don't know how late I'm gonna stay up to actually work on this. And if you're wondering, this fabric is from Joann's. I don't know if they still have it. This is really old. It's just been sitting here because I wanted to make something with it forever ago and I just have it, but it's really pretty. I'll try to get close for you guys. Whoops. There you go. It's like a soft blue, but it's a pretty stretchy fabric, so I don't know how it's gonna work with this dress. It's not the same material, but I'm hoping it'll still be really flowy. I do have a decent amount of this fabric, so hopefully I'll have enough to make like maybe a tiny tank top or something like that. So today is Thursday. We're gonna continue to work on this skirt. It may or may not work. I've never done my own like drafting of the pattern. I have sewn, but it's really just been tops. I've never made bottoms just because I've been so nervous to make bottoms because of how short I am. But since this skirt literally fits me perfectly, like every single person who has ever like complimented the skirt always addresses how it fits me perfectly, which is very rare. So we're gonna try to cut these pieces out. Hopefully I did a good job cutting them. I'm a little nervous, but hopefully it looks good in the end. So I know it's not the perfect angle, but the skirt fits. So I'm excited about it. I'll definitely add a photo. I'm hoping to wear it tomorrow, so then you guys will see the finished look with it. But I'm happy with it. Hey guys, so today is officially market day. I'm so excited. It's at Union Market, which is a local little like food. They have amazing coffees, amazing breakfast foods, and they also, when you first walk into the restaurant, they have like all of these cute local makers that they like display and they sell locally and all this stuff, and oh, I love this place. So today's the day. We are going there today, and what time is it now? It is 11:30, so I have to get to packing all the stuff back here. I started, as you can see, the pegboard, all the hair clips I took out, but I'm like, ugh, I always get really anxious when I'm packing, where I'm like, I don't want to forget anything, I don't want to be behind. I should have really did this yesterday, but I made this skirt, so impulsivity. But I'm excited, so I'm gonna pack all this up, and I will keep you posted if I do anything else prior. I may run to Michael's because the market is, the little pop-up event is from 5 to 9. And I didn't think about that, where I don't really have lighting. So I would like to possibly go pick up some battery powered string lights that I can kind of put on the desk. Cause I have, let's see if I have them here. No, I have these other lights that are magnetic where I can attach them to the inside of my tent. Just so there is lighting in the tent, but I would like to have some cute lighting on the table instead of putting one of those on the table, because they're not great. Like, they're for a power outage. They're like these Energizer little lights. I don't know how to describe them, but you'll see them later if anything. And yeah, so I'm gonna go finish getting ready because I still have to do my hair. I just got out the shower, so my hair's wet. And do my hair, get packed. I have a list of things. Did I lose my list? Dang it. Oh no, it's right here. I have a list. This is all the extra cardstock that I had, so, you know, gotta use it still. So have a whole list of things. But I'm also nervous because Eddie won't be there with me when I first show up. It starts at 5, I have to set up at 4, and he doesn't get out of work till like 5:30, 6 o'clock. So I'm gonna be by myself, but luckily someone who was at the last pop-up event is also going to be there today, and we actually have booths right next to each other. So at least that anxiousness of not knowing who's near me is okay. Like, I know who she is. I've already been chatting with her today, like, today's the day. So, but it's also a pop-up event to celebrate Union Market, where it is actually 5 years of them being in business, which is awesome. Like, they're just such a great place. Honestly, I love everything that they're about, and their food is amazing. Hey guys, so we are here. We are getting set up. All of my stuff is just chilling over there. And yeah, so hopefully it won't take me too long to get set up. This is my first time setting up without Eddie, so fingers crossed. But I have my neighbor friend, Kat, who helped me set up my tent. So I will link her stuff in the description as well. She's awesome, has really cool prints. So if you're interested, make sure you click that down there. So I just wanted to apologize that I did not get to have a full setup clip for you guys. I really did want to show you how I did my entire booth, but it got so windy that it actually knocked my camera over, and my camera like completely ate it. There is now a scratch on it, and like, not a scratch, there's a little like dent at this point on it. Luckily, it didn't break, it seems fine, but that is why this is the only clip I really have of me assembling, because I didn't want to risk my camera. So far, we're doing pretty good. We got some live music, we got food trucks, and if you ever wanted to know what my stall looks like from the back, I have my bags hooked in from behind, my cash box, some tissue paper, my iPad for my register, and I also have my embroidery, so if it dies down, I have something I can work on while I'm here. But so far, it's doing pretty good. It's a beautiful sunny day. The only downside is I forgot to get weights, so now I have all my stuff holding a corner down. Luckily, my neighbor let me tie her weights to our tents together, but this little back corner has been a problem. When the wind blows up, it jumps up onto the grass. So that's why I have these two holding it down and that trying to prevent it from flying back. But it's been interesting. Things just got cooler. There's now a food truck. I'm so excited. I've been waiting for this. I want to try their food so bad. I'm so excited. Alright, I just wanted to come in with a little voiceover for the last part to thank you guys for hanging out with me this week, and just kind of a little overview of what my booth looks like as well. But again, thank you all for hanging out, and I can't wait to see you guys next week.